Hello and welcome everybody to the VooPlayer weekly Q&A webinar session. We're going to get started here in just one moment, but before we do, if you would be kind enough to confirm that you can both hear my voice as well as see my screen, which should say VooPlayer Q&A on it, and then we can get started. Thank you very much. From Dean, so I'll just take that as a yes while everybody else is joining. So once again, this is a VooPlayer Q&A weekly webinar session. My name is Peter. I am VooPlayer's product manager, and we are holding these weekly calls in order to answer any questions that you as users may have with regards to using VooPlayer, as well as to cover and provide training on any advanced use cases of video in your business, be they VooPlayer related or not. Also to showcase new stuff that we've been working on, new stuff that's going on with VooPlayer, just so you're always up to date, as well as to gather, organize, and prioritize any sort of feedback, ideas, suggestions, recommendations, critiques, etc., on how we can keep improving VooPlayer. All right, so as mentioned, this is a weekly webinar session. If you are unable to attend any of these calls, weekly replays are available both on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/c/VooPlayer. I'll share the link. Rick is saying that he cannot hear. Just let me know if that fixed itself, Rick. So weekly replays are available both on our YouTube channel as well as on our Facebook group. Both links which should be in your chat box. So if you haven't joined that Facebook group or subscribed to the YouTube channel already, I do strongly encourage you to do so. Those are great resources to always stay up to date. As far as the webinar goes, I forgot to mention the format is pretty simple. So at any time that you have a question, just drop it in this chat box, and we'll just if you came prepared with any questions like Rick did, you can just paste them in there, and we'll just start answering them in the order that they come in. All right, so what else? Oh yeah, also if you're new to VooPlayer, we are welcoming some new folks this week as we have an active promotion running. So if you are new to VooPlayer, it's good to know that there is a big knowledge base with everything VooPlayer related in there, neatly organized. So you can visit docs.vooplayer.com and explore topics that are of interest to you. However, I would strongly encourage you to at least check out the Getting Started section, as that has the most relevant information for new users and how to upload your first video, how to import it from an external link, how to add features to it, how to publish it and get it on your website, and so on and so on. So that's a must for anybody who's just getting started with VooPlayer. And if you are, again, welcome to the platform. One more thing: if you are if you have at any time one of those neat suggestions, ideas, feedbacks, comments, or recommendations, and you are not able to share it on the webinar just because you have it in the middle of the week and you just don't want to wait, or you might forget, you're always more than welcome to, in the application over here on the bottom left, you can just click on documentation and support and click on submit and vote on ideas, which will take you to our product board portal where you're able to see stuff that we are currently working on, stuff that we are considering implementing in VooPlayer, and you can see a lot of these, actually all of these have been contributed by your fellow users, and now they're gaining traction by other people voting on them. So that's what we have under consideration. You can also see stuff that's been recently launched. And as I mentioned, you can click on submit submit idea, and there you can indicate what your idea, feedback, or critique is, as well as how important it is to you. And that's going to go straight to our product management tool, where we keep everything and where we roadmap everything. So that's going to help us organize your feedback much more effectively. So please do that. Do that. All right, cool. So without further ado, I just have one announcement to make. As you guys are probably aware or have heard, there is an active Woolplayer promotion running currently, courtesy of Stack Commerce. So at least the official deal currently is at here. And I'll share this link in case that anybody wants to share it with anybody else, just so you guys are aware. So there is the promotion for basically coupons. But this purchase, so just to clarify something, we are not the payment processor here. So the payments are with Stack Social, and when you purchase the lifetime subscription from them, you get in return a coupon. Now, you as an existing customer can either leverage that coupon to create a completely new account, or you can use it to stack onto an existing account for storage, for additional storage. So as I mentioned, within our knowledge base, there is an article explaining all of this in detail, and I think it's called Stack Social rather than Stack Commerce, but I think that's right. So Stack Social promotion, and in there is explained in the section for existing users. As an existing customer, the offer deal can only be used to stack 5 gigabytes of storage with the lifetime coupon. So if you are already on the Pro license or any license on startup or enterprise and wish to unlock additional 5 gigabytes of lifetime storage, so this is not recurring as you normally would have with regular storage, which you would purchase from Woolplayer. This is 5 gigabytes of lifetime storage on the Woolplayer hosting platform for that price of $69, which is pretty good. So that's available. There's nothing else that before. If there's any questions with regards to can I unlock this feature with coupon or not? So the coupon, the only thing it does if you're an existing customer and you want to stack it onto your account and not make another one, is get extra 5 gigabytes of storage, and that's that. As far as you using it for a new account, you can just create a new account with that license instructions, which you'll get from Stack Commerce. But basically, you just go to the redemption page and create a new account from there. So that's pretty straightforward. Also, so that's the first thing. Second thing is during the promotion at certain times. So the promotion itself for these coupons and Pro licenses and lifetime coupons is going to last for 90 days. However, during that time, at specific times at our discretion, we'll be offering our yearly and enterprise subscriptions as discounted at that time for new customers who are joining our platform as sort of a welcome gift for them for the promotions. So and those promotions are available from within the your main dashboard. So as soon as you log in, if you are eligible for one of the upgrades, you'll see over here on the right hand side, save 30% on yearly subscriptions. Currently, it's going to expire for 11 days. So that's, I think, September 1st that this is set to expire the first time around. But since this lasts for 90 days, then I think that's what, November 16th, right? I think if I'm not mistaken. I think it's November 16th. We'll at least have it once more that that the subscriptions are gonna be discounted probably towards the end of that 90-day period, just so everybody's on board with what we're doing with regards to the subscription discounts. All right, I see some questions started rolling in, so I'll just go to those really quickly. So Rick is saying Enterprise was supposed to be 40% off. What gives? Can I transfer my Enterprise account if I sell my business? I don't have Pro account in my Enterprise. Renewal lapses. What happens to all my videos? So, all right. So there's a few questions from Rick, and I think some people are actually in similar situations. So I'll just go over that. Enterprise was supposed to be 40% off. I don't remember stating that it's going to be 40% off. If I did, my apologies. It was always going to be 30. Maybe I had the wrong idea, but our promotions have always been 30% off the regular pricing, so no surprise there. I might have just misspoken. Can I transfer my Enterprise account if I sell my business? Transfer it to another email address if that's what you mean, or just I don't know what sort of a transfer. You can give somebody your credentials and they can use it, or you can change the email on that account. You can transfer it via any means. I don't know what transferring means. If I don't have a Pro account and my Enterprise renewal lapses, what happens to my videos? So if you don't have a Pro account and you don't have a free account, so let's take that as an assumption. So if you don't have a Pro account and you don't have a free account, you get a 5 days grace period from your payment lapsing until you're able to settle the missing payment. And after those 5 days, your account becomes what's known as canceled, which means at that time your videos stop playing, but they're still available. All you need to do is reactivate some sort of a license. So if you do that, everything's well and fine, and your videos continue playing. However, if you don't do that and 30 days lapse after that, at that time, all of your videos and all of your data and your account information and all of that is deleted permanently from all of our storage capacities and databases and everything. So if your Enterprise account lapses, you're of course going to get a lot of email notifications for every couple of days that there's a problem with your payment and that your account may be at risk, and so on and so on and so on. However, if you're not able to settle that and are not willing to move to another license, you do have always keep in mind that you're always able to cancel your Enterprise and go to free. You have the ability to downgrade to free, given that the free is a limited license with video with a 5 video limit, but that's an option always. Is it permissible to buy Multiply and Enterprise subscriptions? You can, as long as you keep them under different emails. Well, we have no objections to that. Can I buy an Enterprise subscription but have it activate at a later start date? For example, buy now and activate it on January 1st of 2020. I'm gonna give Vu a lot of love. I'm just trying to figure out how that would be achievable. Uh, uh, that's really a weird scenario, just because of how payment processing works and how trials would have to be set up to delay it until then for you to actually be able to purchase it at this time, but not have it actually start until January 1st of 2020. That's a really specific scenario, and I don't necessarily want to get into the specifics of what can and can't be done without knowing what exactly we want to do. So if you have a need for something like that, Rick, where you want to purchase licenses and delay their activation, do email us at support@vulplayer.com and just ask to be transferred to me, and we can get a conversation going around that on what's needed to make that happen. Lee is asking, does WooPlayer storage work out cheaper than Amazon S3 storage? Well, that yes and no. Amazon S3 storage on its own, I believe, is cheaper than WooPlayer storage. However, serving Amazon S3 storage over Amazon's cloud network with all of the global regions which WooPlayer covers, in that case, WooPlayer storage is cheaper. So storage in itself is nothing. Well, it's a big it's a big component of video hosting. Of course, the file needs to be stored somewhere. However, Amazon S3 storage is just storage. Like you have a locker, for example, and you just put a bunch of CDs in that locker, or files in that locker, and you lock that locker. That's storage. But if you want those files to be, and that's cheaper on Amazon. However, if you want those files to be streamed across the entirety of the globe and played with fast bandwidth, in that case, WooPlayer comes out cheaper overall. I mean, there's many different factors on which regions you enable and what kind of S3 storage it is, and I don't want to get into all of that. But basically, I think the basic math is they're pretty close either way, but WooPlayer comes out a little bit cheaper. And I think that also would the math function on that would actually, I think, change and skew towards Amazon being more cheaper the higher capacities of storage we're talking about. So if we're talking terabytes of storage, then I think those Amazon storage savings would actually start to be more favorable. Rick is saying Wasabi is even cheaper than Amazon. There's a lot of storage providers out there. Wasabi, Amazon. We've had people from pCloud. We had people from OneDrive. We had people from Google Drive. We had people from Dropbox. We had people from anywhere where you're able to have a publicly available link to a file works with WooPlayer, and that's one of the things that really sets WooPlayer apart, is that you can leverage what we're referring to as hybrid hosting, meaning that you can post your video on YouTube and then use it with WooPlayer, so or Facebook or Vimeo or whatever. So a lot of different platforms will work with WooPlayer. So if you think that you and sometimes, I don't know, sometimes you work. This really depends on sort of what your I don't want to say work environment, but what your company or what your business or what yourself are used to and what you're familiar with and where your ecosystem is and what your platforms are built on. It usually makes more sense for you to, for example, if all of your apps are developed in Google's Firebase, it makes a lot more sense for your storage to be in Google Cloud and than it does in Amazon S3. But basically, wherever it makes sense for you to host your files, as long as they can be publicly accessible, WooPlayer can stream them. So if your workflow can be if at any point in your workflow when storing videos you have a publicly accessible file, you can integrate that storage hosting provider within WooPlayer, and I think that's what really makes WooPlayer different and really palatable for a lot of advanced use cases. Lee is saying, I already have 1,500 videos on S3, so that's why I ask. Exactly. So if you already have those videos, and I'm sure there's a way to just export a bunch of URLs from S3, then you can just import all of those directly inside of WooPlayer via CSV. So what you would do is you would come over here to WooPlayer, you would come to mass import, you would come to add URLs and you would add from CSV, and that way you would be able to import 1,500 videos all at once into VooPlayer, and that would enable and apply different settings in the process, et cetera, et cetera. So VooPlayer could cover all of those very quickly. Rick is saying third-party storage is not HLS secured. That's a very good point that Rick brings up. So in that article that I sent, there's the section on limits of hosting videos externally. It is not possible to download link videos since they're not physically. These videos cannot be encrypted. So we do offer, as a lot of you know, world-class encryption, which is still to be cracked by anybody on any protected VooPlayer video. So secure content, how are we referring to that in the docs? Secure content, I think, video content security, that's it. So this is an article that's nice to read with regards to the protection of files which are uploaded to VooPlayer storage. And because they are hosted on VooPlayer storage, we're able to modify them on the go and implement mutating algorithms in the decoding process of those HLS segments and just make them really unbreakable. However, if you're, for example, have your file on S3 or wherever, we're not able to do much with that file because we're just getting the feed of the stream for that file and are just serving it. Hence, we can't protect it in that same way. If you are able to implement any sort of protection, HLS encryption or whatever, and then provide link to it, as well as decode it on the fly, we'll gladly take that URL. We have people who are hosting HLS files which are encrypted on their servers and are providing VooPlayer with a link. So VooPlayer's HLS encoding is not implemented in externally hosted files, which is not to say you yourself can't encrypt those files. We'll gladly decrypt them for you in VooPlayer. Well, all right, where did I stop? Third-party storage is not HLS secured. Lee, is your want-to revenue share on your video library? Hit me up. Okay, where is VooPlayer located? So VooPlayer is headquartered out of Tampa, Florida. Used to be New Jersey. New Jersey. That's where the company is based out of. We, as the product team and the support teams, work out of Belgrade, Serbia. Hence, somewhat unusual time for these webinar calls, especially if you're in the Pacific time zone. Why do I think that VooPlayer is the greatest thing since sliced bread? Nothing compares, in my opinion. I don't know. Why do you? That's a good question. Maybe we should have a chat about that. I'm really interested to learn about how you're using VooPlayer, Rick. So please don't hesitate to initiate a conversation around why you find it so great. That's also a conversation worth having. If somebody's enjoying the product that much, that makes it really worth the while on developing it and replicating on that success. So would really love to learn all of the VooPlayer success stories as well, rather than just the issues and the bugs. Hey, don't forget to let me know your feedback of the channel suggestion that was submitted in the VooPlayer's chat when you get a chance. I saw that actually. I think that was this morning, if I'm not mistaken. It was what were they called? EasyVid or something like that. It was a really cool platform that Will stumbled across. I forgot what they were called. I'll look at it. The iSlick, that's right. All right, I know it was something. Let me just open that up really quick. So they're running. Where's that video? I'm just trying to find that video. God, I love these pages. Ah, there we go. I just need to leave that page because it's being really loud at me. All right, cool. So what they're doing is I don't know if anybody on the webinar has been here when we were discussing the Wistia channels and how they're configured, allowing you to sort of build a library of videos which can be explored throughout your WooPlayer account, but the viewer would basically see, hey, this is my store, for example, store, I don't know what kind of a store, like pet grooming store, and there you would have all the different treatments that you're doing, and people could explore them sort of in a channel fashion rather than in a playlist fashion, which is a bit more interactive, I think, and that's what gives it the benefit of that. So what these guys are doing is that they're taking this really to a next level. I just really need to mute this. So see, here you can see how they have a channel, and there you have watching the video, and you have the different thumbnails and descriptions, and you can really build everything and build protected content and build purchases within these videos. So you can this is like a channel page, and here you can have a call action, and you can have I don't know what this is, a chat or something like that. Yeah, chat, and you can give tutorials, and then while somebody's watching your tutorial, they can call you, and you can set the rates for how much you want to charge per minute for them for clarifying, and they can. There's a lot of cool stuff which this platform can do. William just shared the link with regards to if anybody sees any benefit in this. I'm all right with promoting this as it's a really different platform than what WooPlayer does. WooPlayer is more or less handling this portion of this page, and with that said, I think these guys are really in the platform management business of this is more of a scheduling slash payments slash feeds slash live stream platform, much different than what WooPlayer does. I don't have any feedback immediately as to if any of these things would fit somewhere along our roadmap and our strategy. But thanks a lot for bringing it to our attention, as it's certainly interesting, and we would love to learn more about these use cases, and if the WooPlayer audience is the right target for this, or would, for example, us shifting in a direction like this also with it pull complete realignment of our product. Lee is saying, I was just going to mention that I got myself an account looking to some of my videos there. You don't need all of those features, but yeah, some of it at least. Yeah, again, if you find a particular thing useful, for example, it will be great if, well, we already have this call thing. I don't know what the schedule thing is, but just for an example, hey, it would be great if inside of WooPlayer you could have a schedule a meeting widget. That would blow our mind, and then we can get it on the product board. You know the drill on how that works. So if you have any suggestions of that type, we'll gladly discuss them. All right, cool. Do we have any other questions? Great feedback points, and thanks for that bringing up that platform. Will iSlick.co again? If anybody hasn't checked it out, it's really interesting. I might as well, just because I'm sorry, but I'm obliged to do this as a good citizen of internet. I'll provide a link directly to this Vimeo page, because I hate those types of pages that iSlick is on. I just get nauseous when I open them. Rick is saying Voo does not need to compete with its customers. Woo does not need to compete with its customers. Woo does not need to compete with its customer. I don't know. Why would we compete with our customers? That's a nonsensical statement there. I'm not able to wrap my does not compute. Rick does not compute. All right, cool. So we need to build the tools for us to create apps. We sure do, Rick. We sure do. All right, cool. So we're out of time. I do have a hard stop, so unless there are any pressing issues or questions, I wish to thank you all for joining this week. Hopefully, we'll see you next week when we keep well, actually, hold on. Next week. Yeah, next week we'll see each other. But the week after that, I'm on vacation. But probably Bill's gonna jump in. I'll let you know next week what the plan is for my vacation dates. Until such time, thank you again for joining, and have a great remainder of this week. Bye.